Good evening and welcome to Not Your Average Church Girl. I am Christine Lockridge, the leading lady of this wonderful ministry. We are a ministry filled with transparency, accountability, and love. And I'm thankful for all of our sisters tonight that have joined us. Every Saturday in the month of October, we have talked about our 5 principles. And on tonight, we are talking about financial integrity, which is our 5th principle. We have recently produced Not Your Average Church Girl, Transparency, Accountability, and Love book. And this is an opportunity for you to sow into our ministry at notyouraveragechurchgirl.org. There you will be able to purchase this book for a small donation of $15. And we have extremely wonderful women here tonight. We had a few technical difficulties, but I'm excited for all that they're going to share. So I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves on tonight. And I'm going to start with Tina. Tina, you're still on mute, honey.
I'm Tina Hagans of Not Your Average Church Girls. Hey, ladies.
Hey. Go ahead, Marie.
Hello, my name is Marie, and I also participate in Not Your Average Church Girl. I go by Epic, and I'm also the founder of Epic Ministries.
And Keisha.
Hey, so I am Keisha. I'm also a member of Not Your Average Church Girl out of the Denver chapter in Augusta.
Yes, ma'am. I'm super excited to have all of these women. Some of us are from New York, some of us are from Colorado, and it's amazing how God puts all of his daughters together. So tonight we're talking about financial integrity, and just as a reminder for those who are participating to make sure that we keep our technology on mute, and then as we chime in, then we'll take ourselves off mute. So tonight we're talking about giving and tithing and saving money. And I'm just curious, the big question that we're going to start off with is, when we're paying our tithes, are we paying net or are we paying gross? We're just going to start off the bat with the wild feedback.
Go ahead,
Keish. I'm going to let you start. No, that's okay. Go ahead.
When we're paying our tithes, we are paying off of our full income. You don't pay off after taxes. You pay from before taxes, because when you whatever they take from taxes, they're going to take it, but you pay from your full income. Your annual income is $65,000, and that includes your vacation and whatnot. You pay from that full income. You don't take from God anything.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I just wanted to, for myself, I would tend to say, I believe that you tithe off of your, I guess it would be your net. And this is coming out of Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 22. It says, every year be sure to save a tenth of the crops harvested from whatever you plant in your fields. And so what I'm seeing here is, so you plant so much, but then whatever you harvest, you might not get the full yield. And so you're going to be tithing off of that yield. So in my opinion, like, if you, it's from what you take home.
Okay. Tina?
I would agree with Keisha that it goes off your gross, your full of what you make, and you pay your 10 off of that.
So from your experiences from tithing, what has been the benefit?
What? I'm sorry, what was that?
The benefits of tithing.
No lacking. Pretty much in No lacking in much of anything. Like in the pandemic, I mean, I still have a job. I'm still able to put food on the table and take care of my bills. No lacking. God is supplying my needs, and I get some overtime. Amen.
Hey, so overtime. I love it. I love it. Earlier today, I was talking on a podcast with some ladies, and they were talking about finances and giving. And I was sharing with them that there was a time I was laid off as a special education teacher. I'm a teacher, and I was laid off for a point of time. And during the time that I did get my unemployment, I was still paying my tithes off of what I got. And I did that as a step of faith, knowing that this was something I did before. I did pay on my gross. I paid my 10%. And with that experience, it was just that I naturally had already done. And I believe that throughout my process at that time of being unemployed and still being faithful in that, and that's what God had led me to do, which is why I was able to get a new job. But I think a lot of it for us is learning how to trust in that money, because there's been times where I can be transparent and say, I'm gonna pay my tithes, and you forget, or I'm gonna pay it next week, and then something doesn't go right. And so God always finds a way to show us that we need to make sure that we put our first fruits first. So one of the things that we talk about with our principal is not just tithing and giving, but also in regards to just money and how we spend. And so I'm just curious, who taught you all how to save? Did no one teach you? How did you learn about finances? How did you learn about that? Marie, you want to start us off?
All right. So myself, no one really taught me, but what I started to notice as I grew older was about there were always a lot of emergencies that seemed to be coming up, or just maintenance. And like in the Bible, if you look in the Old Testament, they brought in their money and from their income to make repairs to the temple. And so I look at that kind of like I've learned to save and always have money put aside. So like say I need to do a home repair or something like that. And so to have that emergency fund. Another thing that I've noticed is that once again in the Old Testament they tithe not off of just their income as far as their money, but also every other thing that they have, like the mint, the parsley, the wine, the animals. And so I think traditionally that when we think about tithing, we think strictly of it in matters of like our paycheck. But I think it's also important that we like for instance myself, I'm on some assistance, and so I try to make sure that I'm also setting aside a part of that assistance in order to bless others as well.
Okay, Keish, how did you learn about finances, or how did you not?
I did not. Nobody taught me about saving, budgeting, managing money, or any of that. So, when you come up less fortunate and you become an adult, and nobody taught you the basics of finances, then when you become an adult and you land what they would consider a good job, when you get that check, it's like I can do what I want to do. So I didn't grow up in church. I didn't grow up being taught how to manage money or to budget money or to save money. So I learned the hard way. And though I know everything now, not everything, but I know how to manage my money now, going back and breaking old habits for me has been extremely hard. So I know what to do. And just recently have really been working on doing what I know is right, just because I know it's right. And I don't want to be in a position where God is not going to bless me because I haven't been, I hate getting emotional, because I haven't been, I don't want to say that I'm not grateful, but I haven't really taken care of properly what He's already blessed me with. And it's what's easily given is easily taken away. And so I'm
Mm-hmm.
working hard now on getting myself in order.
Thank you for that transparency. I appreciate that. I know other people, they may have came up in a situation like you did as well. And I think, as soon as you learn how to do better, you got to start. You got to start. Tina, what are your thoughts? Who taught you about finances? You're still on mute, Tina.
Okay. So pretty much the same as the other two ladies. I wasn't raised with a silver spoon in my mouth, and we had hardship, and my parents didn't really teach us how to save. You just kind of learn as life comes, and you find along the way that you mess up sometimes, and you do find yourself in some hardship. But along the way, you do learn try to manage your money properly, and you do try to put a little bit of something away for a rainy day or what have you. As Keisha was saying, we're not always good stewards of what God give us, but when we do really try to, and God knows our heart, and He definitely know our pocketbooks, child. When we do try to be a good steward of what He blesses us with, it seems like it stretches, child. Sometimes you're looking at wild and be like, oh, where that came from? You've been tucked a little bit somewhere, or in a little book or whatever. And that's happened to me. God blesses me where He knows something's gonna come, and I'll be to tuck something away or whatever. And when it's time, it like appears. So He blesses us. He blesses us if we really try to be a good steward of what He gives us. So yeah.
So this week I posted a question on our page. What are some reasons why we struggle with financial integrity? Keisha, you put not being taught, being less fortunate as a child, bad habits. Someone else said not budgeting, overspending, emotional spending, aka retail therapy, ignorance, overspending, poor organization, planning skills. This was a big one. Always trying to provide for everyone, living on one's means, compensating for others' feelings. That was big. And then not sticking to my budget. I think all of those are legit and they're real. I saw a meme the other day, and it says savings account $10,000. Then it said checking account like $205, and then it said I'm broke. So having the mentality like I can have stacks in saved, but because my checking account is $200, I ain't got no money. I'm broke. I think that's something that, even though it's funny, it's like something to really think about. Like if I walk around knowing I have money in my savings account, but I'm like, no, that's called real strict budgeting. I thought that was amazing. Keisha, were you saying something?
I'm just saying I agree. I remember my father, so my father has never had a credit card. He don't believe in credit cards. And you would be like, Dad, can I have? He'd be like, I'm broke. But you see him with a wallet full of money, like, but I see the money right there. And he's like, no, I'm broke. That money was already allocated to whatever it was, and he was not going to touch it. So that just reminded me. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one. What are some ways to save? What are some like practical ways that you all save?
Listen. I'm a, so I've been with COVID. I'm taking all the positives of it because it's enough bad. So the benefit of me being home, working from home, has helped me save a lot of money. Well, not a lot, but it helped me save. I'm not eating out. I'm not stopping by the store on the way home from work, and so I'm saving money in that way. But my downfall is sitting in this very room all day, and then it's 8-9 o'clock at night, and I realize I haven't eaten anything, and there's so many fast foods around me. I run to a fast food. So I added up just yesterday all the money that I spent on fast food alone this month. It was $158. So that's my new save. I have to manage that money, and I can't sit here and not eat, basically, because I have a full of food. So why am I not just running downstairs and putting something? I have air fryer, I have a Jenny oven. Like I don't have to stand at a stove. So it's basically being disciplined. Honestly.
So I'm since you being transparent, I'm gonna put myself out there too. There was a time where I was not planning, I was not meal prepping, I was not doing anything I was supposed to be doing, and Uber Eats was really racking up. I mean, really racking up. And at the time I was living in Denver, so like there is like wonderful places to order from. I mean, wonderful. I mean, me and the other teachers, we were ordering for lunch. Then I would get something for dinner. And like you said, if you add up all the money that you spend on eating out, you'll really see where your money is going. And a lot of times we use excuses, and I'll even say I've used the excuse where it's more expensive to eat healthy. But the reality is that if you take that $158 and you go buy a whole bunch of chicken, a whole bunch of frozen vegetables, like really get what you need, you can really have quite a few meals if you meal prep, right? But I just wasn't planning, and I'm really telling on myself. My Uber Eats was connected to a credit card, so it would just go. Like it was just connected to a credit card. So when I was like, and then when you see it, it's like, man, looking at my statement, thinking this is how much money I spent on food. And so I've been delivered from that spirit. Okay, I've been delivered. I'm set free. But I'm sharing that because you're right, Keisha. Like, it's a reality. Like, it's just quick, it's fast. It's not that you don't have food. It's just easier. So I think a lot of it is planning and organizing, like some of the people said in the comments. If we have any questions or comments, you're more than welcome to put them in the group. We're trying our best to be practical with all of the information that we are giving. So we're all single. How much money do you think we should have saved? Like a single woman, is there a number? I had a friend call me one day and she was like, how much money should a single woman have? And I was like,
the rule of thumb is that you should have at least 3 to 6 months of your bills saved up. And I think as a single woman, we need to stick closer to the 6 months because we don't have anybody to fall back on.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Someone told me 9 months, and I was like, "Woo!"
Right. If I start beating a little fast, we get.
I was like 9.
Especially when you add up and be like, "I'm supposed to save. Where is this? Where is it coming from?" But it's going to come from us being faithful in our tithes, and stuff like that. Because even me, I stress the heck out about money. I stress the heck out about saving money.
Yeah.
It keeps coming in. But do I save it? Absolutely not. So that's like if I add my bills up and then I times that times 9, and then I'm somebody telling me, well, you need to save that. I'm just gonna throw it away. Honestly, I am. I have to think small. So if I look at it small and it gets big, then I see it as accomplishable. But if you give me that 9 months, I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I quit. Where's the boot store?
No, I got you. Speaking of boots, another thing I was delivered from, just bad. I was delivered from them. I said, you know what? Y'all not doing this to me no more. Because you know what got me? Sometimes the Lord has let things make you angry for you to be like, okay, you're not getting my money. I couldn't use a credit during the sale time because I had to get something that was full price. So I was upset. So the Lord's like, I told you to just cancel this. But, sometimes a hard head makes a soft bottom. But yeah, the boot store. So what hinders us from saving?
Poor upbringing. Not poor upbringing. Being less fortunate. It's not like my parents didn't work. It's not like, we had enough to live. But when you go to school, especially when you come to a new area as a teenager or a young child and you see it, they make fun of you because you talk funny, you got an accent, and then your clothes are not the style of clothes, then you're just like, I don't want to save that. I want to get what I want to get.
Tina, what you think? What hinders us from saving?
Pretty much what she said. We like to shop. We like to eat. And then we have friends that we take out and we spend on them. And you want to talk to somebody because we single and we want to talk to somebody and we want to have some fun. So we take up our girlfriends out and we spend on, the outing is on us. So I don't know. We have to become better stewards, but yeah, we waste a lot of money doing things that the money we waste we can be putting aside and saving it. Just being better stewards of it, being better stewards.
So we kind of talked about reasons why we struggle with saving, and we talked about at least having, 3 to 6, if possible, 9 months of bills of income saved up. What's an easy way, a strategic way to do that? Because to something like Keisha said, 9 months, forget it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm already stressed. I'm gonna buy boots. But like, if you're trying to do the 3 to 6 months, what are some strategies you're using?
Well, something that I used to do was immediately when I got my paycheck, I would simply I would take out a portion, so like say $100, and I would set it aside into savings. And so that's one method. And another method that is helpful is to use like the envelope system, to where so much is allotted for each area of your life. Because it's real funny how it seems like sometimes after we do the tithe, after we do our bills, we think we know what we have left over, but then when it comes time, it's like the little things that keep creeping up that aren't accounted for. And so like the envelope system has worked really well for me. And another thing which has been kind of necessary that I've tried is just, it's like a zero spending budget, and to where you don't spend anything other than absolute essentials, and then you put that extra money aside.
That's a good strategy. Go ahead, Keish.
Me, I have no discipline. So I had to, honestly, thank God that I taught my children better than I taught myself or than I was taught. So I actually put my daughter on my account so she sees what I'm spending. My daughter is magnificent with her money. So she's on my accounts. She can tap into my spreadsheet. And when I say I don't have an account hidden from her, and she will message me, like last night, she was like, "So you eating out again or what's up?" I was like, "No, I'm in the kitchen right now. Got the air fryer." So she's never disrespectful, but I think in my mind, it's really a mind game. I would hate to disappoint. So that's what helps me right now. And I have to use what works for me.
I love the accountability. That's smart. Tina, what are your strategies?
I'm still struggling, y'all. But I'm still struggling in some areas, but I am a good steward of peeling off a couple dollars and putting it in savings. And like I said, whenever I do have the extra, because I'm blessed, yeah, I'm blessed enough where I can get some time at my job. So I do try to hide a little bit from myself on purpose. And I got a testimony too. So God is so good, y'all. When tax season was here, I had got both of my checks, my federal and my state, around about the same time. So when we get our little taxes, we're a little rich. So I had got the federal, and that was my money that I took care of my bills and did a little extra whatever. So the state came a couple days later, whatever, and I took that and I put it away. 6 months later, guys, 6 months later, I done straight forgot I had the check. That's how good the federal was to me. I forgot I had the check. So my old car had started acting up and I needed a new car. So I'm like, I went to the bank to cash my regular check, and I'm leaving out the bank and I'm turning towards the car lot. And I'm like, why am I going to this car lot? Like, God, I ain't got no money. Like, what am I doing? So so I get to the car lot and I'm checking out the cars and stuff or whatever. And I'm really looking at these cars, y'all, like I got some cash. Talking to the man, counting numbers, talking numbers, go in there, sit down, do budgeting, whatever. However, what type of car payment I'm looking for, all this. Like I got some coins. And I leave and I'm like, Lord, like, why am I at this car lot? And how I'm in there talking business with this man? Like I really got, like I got it going on. Like I got some cash. Get home and I'm looking for my money, like probably like a week later of the money that I picked up, my check, my regular check to pay my bills. I'm like, now I just went to the bank. Where's that money? Where's that money? Guys, I told you I hide in books and stuff sometimes. So I'm looking and I'm looking. I'm like, this look like a check. What's this? So I look, it's my state check. That is my whole, that's my monies for my down payment, my couple of first payments on my new car, yeah, and some extra cash. And I was like, look at God. He loves to show out. I completely got blinked that right out my mind, because otherwise, y'all know I would have went on, I would have bought some boots and a bag and some other stuff. But God hid it from me because he knew I was going to need a new car. I just say that to say God is just so awesome that when you really do try to be a good steward, and I really do try to be a good steward, paying my tithes, you know what I mean? I try to put a little bit of something to the side, even if it's just a couple of beans, I try to put something to the side. And God just blesses. I'm trying to be better at saving more. Cause I can. I just do otherwise. So I'm trying to get better in that realm. So yeah, y'all pray with me.
I love it. Thank you for sharing. That was awesome. I'm very much like, yes, Marie.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but she just a little take off on because she got me motivated to testify now. So one principle that I really think is amazing in God's finances is the way that sometimes like in my life personally, I've seen that he doesn't necessarily give me the money to do what I need to do, but he'll provide that need. And so like even in the Bible, like when he was with the Israelites and he led them in the wilderness for all those years, he didn't give them, he didn't provide them the money to go buy bread, but he fed them directly hand to mouth, and the same thing with Elijah when Elijah was out there in the desert and the ravens brought him food. And so I've had a lot of times where the Lord's I felt like he kind of dealt with me like that. And so I've actually been having a lot of transportation issues myself, and I am on a very fixed income. But, I haven't let myself get too worried because God does always provide, and he's been faithful in the past, and I know he'll continue to do so. Well, I got this call from my church, and I was kind of confused because I was like, did I sign up for a class or something? But they ended up getting a hold of me, and I guess there was a elderly lady that had donated. She was connected to the church, and she had donated a vehicle. And the pastor was like, "Well, we don't really need it, but I'll see what I could do." So he did a little bit of asking around, and found out, well, Marie doesn't have reliable transportation right now, and so that's actually a blessing that I'm supposed to be receiving, Lord willing, tomorrow. And so I just feel like just really having faith that God will continue to supply our needs is it's really important, and that it doesn't always come in the way that we expect.
I love it. I love it. Thanks for sharing. These are amazing, amazing testimonies. Go ahead, Tina.
I just want to say, if you take care of God, he'll take care of you. You know what I mean? He looks out for us, ladies.
Absolutely.
I just want to say it.
Absolutely. I completely agree. I definitely take after Marie. I haven't always been like this, but I have decided to, one of my first decisions, write down all of my bills. And I think sometimes we hear that, but we don't really do it. And when you really write down, like Keisha was saying, and put it in an Excel spreadsheet, and kind of say, okay, this is how much this is. It helps you recognize how much you spend on clothes, how much you spend on boots, whatever the case may be. One of my biggest things was really paying off credit card debt. And so that's what the first thing I did was I got the card that had the least, and I paid that one. Then I went to the next, and I went to the next. I had 3 to pay off, and thankfully I was able to do that. And so now I'm put a little something on it, pay it off. Just fab, don't have it connected to Uber Eats, do better. And so that's something that I've learned. And then also kind of like Marie said, putting a set aside of money, knowing that you're committing that, just like we commit our tithes, we pretty much, that's going to be, we, already have that set aside more money, is definitely something that I do too. So I think we're all definitely on the same page, and we're making strides. And like Tina said, I'm struggling. We're all not perfect in this area, and I think we're all learning. We've had different experiences. So I just wanted to say thank you again to all of the ladies who participated on tonight. Thank you for those who will watch the replay. Again, you can definitely our book, Not Your Average Church Girl, Transparency, Accountability, and Love. And in our book, we talk about our 5 principles. This is the last Saturday that we're coming together as a ministry to talk. And I'm thankful for all of you being here. Thank you, ladies. And I always end everything by saying, when God tells you to do something, do it. And when you do it, he will provide the way. You guys have a blessed night. Thank you, ladies.